Okay, so as always, in the very beginning, you may see me come forward and back to the computer a little bit as people are coming in just a little bit late. So if you see me do that, just pay attention to what I was saying and not necessarily what I'm doing with my body. So as always, let's start by finding a nice comfortable seat. Take a moment to get settled on your mat. And remember, as always, that we have different options here. So if you feel comfortable sitting with your legs folded, you can choose that option. If not, feel free to have one leg out or both. You can even sit on a pillow or on a block to raise your tailbone up. What's most important is that you feel comfortable. And let's begin just by finding some stillness. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. And just begin to cultivate some nice, deep breaths, really breathing from your belly. And concentrate on letting those breaths be full and long and deep. And now we'll begin feeling a little movement to go along with those breaths. So on your inhale, roll your spine out nice and long. Sit tall on the mat. And then exhale to soften. Relax your shoulders, relax your back. Inhaling, lengthening, lifting, rising. And exhaling to soften. And we'll just feel this happen a few more times. On your next exhale, release your hands down to your lap. Keep that breath going. So on your inhale, we're still rolling out nice and tall, but this time on your exhale, let your navel draw you back a little bit. Begin to round through your spine. And then inhaling, lengthening, sitting tall. And exhaling, softening, curving the spine, inhaling to lengthen. And let's just feel this breath and movement connection. Now as you breathe, as you move, you can begin to feel this movement becoming even bigger, if that would feel nice. So maybe on your inhale, you're shifting forward, and exhale, you really let your belly button draw you all the way back. Feeling some beautiful cat-cow energy right here. And then following this further, we can begin to thread the heart forward and up. And exhale, scooping down, diving. Inhaling forward and up. So just letting our hearts lead us. Feeling this beautiful serpentine motion. Feeling all of the space between the vertebrae. On this next exhale, let's thread the spine over the left leg. Just finding some length, enjoying a stretch along the back right side. And then come through center, rolling back up, and this time we're going to stretch over that right leg. Again, just stretching out, getting some length in the back. Feeling that left side opening up. Coming back through center. I'm feeling this just a couple more times, and then using this motion to follow all the way through. Walk your hands forward. Let it bring you to tabletop, adjusting the legs. And then we're going to find some more movement here, continuing to loosen the spine. So on your inhale, roll your heart forward, tip your tailbone to the sky, and then exhale. Coil your belly in and drop the crown of your head. Inhaling, rolling open, and exhaling to coil. Now you can stay right here. If this is perfect, if cat-cow feels great, you stay in this flow. If you'd like to, you're welcome to find free-form movement here. So maybe finding some circles with your rib cage and your hips. Maybe you're shifting all the way over to one side and then another. Just creating space, creating ease. Find your way back to a neutral spine and tabletop. Now draw your knees together beneath your hips so that you're nice and centered here. Begin to walk your hands forward, and we're going to keep melting that heart, moving the spine. Bow your heart down to the mat. Now, Anahatasana can be a little bit of an intense place for the shoulders. So if that's the case, just bend your elbows and let your forearms come to the mat. We're just going to find a few breaths right here, releasing our hearts down to the mat on the exhale. Inhaling, rounding through the spine. And exhaling, rolling down. And then thread all the way through, following your heart all the way down to the mat. Walk your toes back, create space. Find ease beneath your body, and let's bring fingertips wide. Intuitively begin to move one shoulder and then the other. So we're flowing through our creative cobra here. Just finding some big open circles, releasing tension in the shoulders. Now as you roll your shoulders, remember to turn your head as well, relaxing tension in your neck. Draw your fingertips back to beneath your shoulders. Extend your right arm long and just roll toward your right side. Let your heart open toward the sky, feeling the natural intelligence of the body as it settles onto your side. Breathing and then rolling back to center. Extend your left arm long, rolling over to the left. Letting the heart center spill out. Again, feeling that beautiful natural intelligence, the way our bodies just melt. And come back to center. From here, we'll draw our hands back, pressing back to tabletop. Or if you have one in your practice, you're welcome to take downward facing dog here. And wherever you've landed, we're still exploring that pulse of movement. So maybe we are in cat-cow. Maybe we're in free-form spinal movement. Maybe we are in downward dog and we're walking it out, bending one knee and then the other. And wherever we are, that breath pattern is long and slow and smooth. And if you are in downward facing dog, come on back down to your knees. Walk your hands back and sweep your feet around in front. Let's find a comfortable seat. Keep stretching out, keep releasing tension. So we're going to be seated for a little while. So if you know that this is not always a comfortable place for you, I invite you to choose a seated position that is, remembering that you can sit on a block or on a pillow or even on a chair for this part. So the first thing we're going to do is drop our chins to our chest and find some gentle neck rolls. Roll your head all the way over to one side, back through center, and all the way over to the other. Imagine that you're tracing a smile across your body. We want to avoid rolling around the back just because that can be uncomfortable in our cervical vertebrae. So we just want to trace that beautiful big smile across our bodies. Now, as you are rolling your head from side to side, notice if you find a spot where it would feel good to linger. So if you detect some tension or a sticky place, just linger there for a moment. You can use your inhale to soften that space, to fill it with air, and then exhale, release any tension, and continue moving through this arc. The next time you find your head all the way over to the right, position your right ear above your right shoulder. So we want to feel that alignment, and your face will be facing out. Roll your left shoulder back and down, and you'll feel that stretch deepen along the side of the neck. Now from here, I invite you to figure out what feels best. So this might be plenty of stretch. If you'd like to add on, you can walk your left hand away. And one interesting thing here is depending on where that hand goes, where you feel the stretch the most is going to change. So experiment a little to find the spot that feels best in your body. There is one more add-on here. If you'd like to deepen the stretch further, you can always take your right hand to the top of your head and add a little weight. But of course, we want to go really gently with our necks. And then simply release. Roll your chin back to center. Roll all the way over to your left side. Left ear over the left shoulder. Again, the face is pointing out. Roll your right shoulder back and down, and then decide where you would like to be, right? So maybe this is plenty of stretch. Maybe we walk those right fingertips away. And again, we wiggle around to find the perfect spot to address any neck tension. Remembering to breathe long and slow and smooth. And remembering, of course, your one last option to increase that stretch even more. You can always add a little weight with your left hand to the top of your head. And release. Roll your chin all the way back to center. And then draw your chin back to being parallel with the earth. So let's get into the back of the neck a little bit. From here, please turn your chin all the way to the right and drop your chin to your chest on that side. We're going to roll that left shoulder back and down again, but this time we're going to sweep the left arm behind us, pressing the back of our left hand into our lower backs. Now, this might already be plenty of stretch, and if it is, you stay right here. To make it even more intense, roll your left shoulder back and down again and press into your back, actively applying pressure with the back of your hand. And you'll feel a nice deep stretch come into the back, left side of the neck. And release. Draw your chin back up, passing through center, turning over to the left and dropping your chin to your chest on the left side. From here, sweep your right arm out to the side and then back, again landing the hand on the small of the back. Roll your right shoulder back and down, either staying here or pressing into your lower back with the back of your hand, depending on how much stretch you want to feel. And again, just breathe right here. And release, rolling the chin back to center and then drawing back up. So let's keep moving that line of relaxation down into the shoulders. So let's find some huge shoulder circles all the way forward, all the way up. Squeeze them together at the back, melting down and then rolling forward again. So go for the largest expression of movement you can find here, even if it feels a little ridiculous. We really want to feel all of that rotation. And let's roll the other way. So we're going to roll back and then forward, round through the spine. Create plenty of space between your shoulder blades and then find that expression again. Roll your way all the way up to seated. Scrunch your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze, 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 and then exhale. Relax them all the way down. So let's keep working down the spine. We're going to get into the rib cage now. So from here, trace your heart all the way over to the right side, all the way forward, over to the left, and then back, and then connect those points. So we're finding Kundalini circles, moving our hearts around our spines. Just let this movement be fluid, let it be sahaja, let it be intuitive. And of course we'll go the other direction, so we're going to move around toward the right now. And there's really nothing to look at here. You do not need to mimic my movements in this space. You can close your eyes, going within and just noticing what feels good. And you can stay with those circular movements, maybe one side and then the other, or you can find sahaja expression here, just noticing what feels good. And then begin to make your way back to stillness, coming to seated. Inhale, sweep your fingertips out to the sides and up to the sky. Let's find a little twist here. Exhale, turn to the left. Let your fingertips touch down. Inhale back to center and turn to the right. Let's follow this for a few breaths, just introducing some twisting to our lower backs. It's so good for relieving tension. And then one more thing before we make our way up onto our feet. Let's talk about our feet. Let's come all the way back to seated. And I'd like you to grab a foot, it doesn't matter which one, and give yourself a little foot massage right here. So press your fingers into your toes, into the ball of your foot, running along the ridge, along the outside. Make sure you get your heel. Just a little act of loving kindness toward the self. We all need it right now. And then switch it out. So we find the other foot and we do the exact same thing. We massage those toes and the ball of the foot. We massage all the way down, finding the heel. From here, we're going to simply walk our hands back out and then sweep them forward. Making our way into tabletop. Now from here we will meet in forward fold. So you have choices. You can walk your hands back to stand. You can also step your feet forward. It's just whatever feels best in your body today. So once you have found your forward fold, I invite you to find a nice floppy ragdoll sort of experience here. So let your upper body melt. Relax your neck. You can turn your head from side to side. Relax your jaw. If it feels good in your body to sway from side to side, you can feel that. For full ragdoll, you're welcome to find your elbows and just dangle. Now in this space, let's find 3 deep releasing breaths. So inhale, exhale out a sigh. Inhaling. And this time we're going to bend our knees. Roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a moment right here to set your intention for your practice. Now that we've loosened up, now that we've been breathing. Some good choices today could be peace, could be mindfulness, could be calmness, could even be gratitude. Once your intention is set, release your hands down by your sides. Make your way to the top of your mat if you're not already there. And we're going to set up our first Tadasana of class. So root your feet down to the mat. Ideally, you want them to be about a hip's distance apart. That's a fist and a half to 2 fists distance in most bodies. So once you've rooted your feet, let's really feel that connection. Lift your toes, spread them out, and set them down again. You can rock around a little bit, really feeling the 4 corners of the feet until you find that centered space where it's comfortable, where you're rooted and strong. Begin to draw up on the inner arches of the feet. Feel your quads strengthen. Bring your hands to your belly, and let's give our bellies some love. Do a little gentle self-massage right here. Maybe feeling the sides and the back as well. Just running some soothing touch over our tummies. And then find that space just beneath your navel where there's a little triangle of muscles and draw them in and up. Tailbone reaches long. Shoulders roll back and down and palms face forward. So feel strong here. Feel proud how rooted you are. Feel the way your heart rises and your core is so powerful. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold all the way forward. Now on your inhale, we're going to halfway rise. Hands can come to the shins or to the thighs. Roll your heart forward and let your collarbones shine, right? We want to keep a whole lot of space open here. Go for a flat back and go for straight legs. So we're really going to feel a deep stretch all along the back side of the body. And if you're not feeling one yet, place your hands a little bit lower, maybe even down to the mat or onto a set of blocks. And then soften, melt, bend your knees. Inhaling again, halfway rise, making that L shape, rolling our collarbones forward. Exhale to soften. Inhaling, halfway rise. And exhale, fold all the way this time. Plant your hands on a set of blocks or onto the mat. On your inhale, step your right foot back to lunge and lower that right knee down. So let's get comfortable here. If we're using blocks, set them up underneath your shoulders. We want to be aligned with that left shin. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, shift back. Let's begin to straighten out that left leg. And today we're going to stay shifted back for a few breaths. Bowing over the left leg. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhaling, just softening, drinking in the breath again on the inhale. This time on the inhale, we'll roll forward. We're going to melt that right hip toward the earth. Heart rises. And then exhale. Let's find fluid movement, shifting the hip back. Inhaling forward, melting that right hip. And exhaling back to stretch out the left leg. Follow your breath right here. Let your next inhale bring you back to lunge. Set your blocks to the side if you're using them. Tabletop. From here, walk your hands one hand span forward and shift your shoulders over your wrists. So we're finding half plank. Now I'd like you to keep your core nice and strong here. So keep drawing your belly so that navel is drawing toward the spine. Tailbone reaches long. Press the earth away, and on your exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, back up. Exhaling, keeping that space between your shoulder blades halfway down. Inhale, back up, and this time we're going to follow it all the way through. Make your way down to the mat. Come all the way down to your belly. Walk your toes back, create space, and let's bring fingertips wide again. They come off the mat. Roll your shoulders through creative cobra. Maybe this time you turn to gaze over one shoulder and then the other. Maybe even lifting the feet, feeling sort of a swimming motion here. Come back to center, return your fingertips to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Once you have settled, inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. If your back knee is lifted, please lower it. And if you were using blocks before, go ahead and grab them and get your lunge set up. So again, we just want to make sure that right knee is directly over the right ankle. Arms are aligned. Inhale to look forward and exhale, shift back. Now we'll sustain right here, just breathing, just stretching out the back of that right leg. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhaling to soften. This is Ardha Hanumanasana, half monkey pose. And on this next inhale, we find movement, shifting forward, the heart rises. Exhale, shifting back, the hips lead the way, we bow over that right leg. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhale, shifting back, half monkey pose. Again, following your breath right here. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together. And fold, surrender, relax. Remember, you can turn your head from side to side here. You can wiggle your jaw a little bit. You can sway if that would feel good. And then come to center. Bend your knees. Exhale. Roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale. Rise and open. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Stabilize. Come back to your intention. Back to your breath. And then notice if your Tadasana shifted. If it did, no big deal. Just take a moment to once more root the feet. Feel that upward rising energy, that prana, that wonderful life force coming from the earth. Engage your core, heart is lifted. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward. On your inhale, halfway rise. Roll your heart forward, press your tailbone away. Now this time we're going to sustain here for a few breaths. So using your fingertips as a little bit of a lever, see how much space you can create through your spine. Let your tailbone and the crown of your head reach away from each other. Keep breathing long and slow and smooth. And then gently soften, bending your knees, fingertips touching down. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge. Lower that left knee down. So set up your lunge again, making sure the right knee's over the ankle, grabbing your blocks if you need them. Inhale to look forward, exhaling, shifting back, again, bowing. This time we move. Inhale forward to lunge, melt your left hip toward the earth. Exhale, shift back, right toes rise. Find the deeper stretch. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhaling back, just feeling this gorgeous symphony of all of your joints moving together. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Tabletop. Walk your blocks out to the side. If you're using them, find your wrists beneath your shoulders. Walk your hands one handspan forward and shift your shoulders over your wrists. Once again, we're finding our half plank. Knees, hips, and shoulders are in one long line. Find your core strong. Create plenty of space between your shoulders as you press the earth away. Now, as slowly as you can, using so much control, begin to float your way down to the mat. Let it be slow motion. Maybe taking more than one breath on your way down, feeling the strength of your arms, and then coming to surrender. Walk your toes back once you touch down, and let's bring fingertips wide again. Roll one shoulder and then the other. And again, maybe we stay right here in Creative Cobra. Maybe we begin to add on, finding that swimming expression. Come back to center, lowering the toes down to the mat. Fingertips come to beneath the shoulders, press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Find stillness and then inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. Grab your blocks if you're using them. If your back knee's lifted, please lower it down to the mat. And let's set up that nice safe lunge. So left knee over the ankle. Arms are aligned. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back. Left toes rise. This time the deeper stretch. Inhale forward to lunge. Melt the hip. And exhale, shifting back. And remember, you can move on your breath. What's most important is for your breath and your body to line up together, even if that means you're on a different part of the movement than I am. Let your next inhale shift you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your right toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together and fold, surrender, find some ease. Rock from side to side. And we'll come to stillness at the center. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Release your hands down to either side, and we're going to take a nice wide stance on the mat here. I realize I'm decapitated, but that will change soon. So we're going to let our toes be parallel. They're facing out. If you would like to have a block for extra support, please feel free to place one at the center of the mat. And once you've found that nice wide-legged forward fold, let's inhale, sweep our fingertips to the sky, and exhale, fold all the way forward. Finding surrender here, remember to relax your head and neck. And again, little movements can help with that, sometimes turning the head from side to side, moving the jaw. I invite you to let your shoulders and your chest just soften for a moment. Try to let your body relax. Now from here, let's walk our fingertips as far forward as we can reach. And you can do this with a block just by shifting that block forward. Once you've found that space, root into your heels. And you can bend your knees a little bit and use that bend to help tip your tailbone a little more toward the sky. And on your next exhale, melt your heart toward the earth. So we're finding a deeper stretch here. You might be feeling this in your back and in the backs of your legs. And we're just going to breathe. Inhaling, creating length. Exhaling to soften. We're going to walk our hands back to center. This time, let's reach them through. So we're reaching behind us through our legs. Really let your spine round here. Remember, you can still use a block. You just bring that block through the legs. And once you've found that space, again, just breathe, maybe shifting your weight into your heels a little more. If you are a member of the Tight Hamstrings Club with me, this can get you a better stretch there. Just breathing. And then walk your hands back to center. We're going to exhale here, roll your way all the way up to standing. Let your heels come in a little bit. So we're finding ourselves at a 45-degree angle here. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, sinking down, Haimalasana. Inhaling, sweeping the fingertips out to the side, up to the sky, and exhale. So this is sometimes called goddess pose or full moon vinyasa. It's just a wonderful way to feel our body working as a team, all of those joints going together. Now on this next exhale, we're going to do something a little different. I want you to bend your elbows, opening out to the sides as the knees coming down, bending, and then inhaling back up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Feel the stretch across the chest. Maybe we even feel those elbows and arms moving toward the back of the body. One more option right here is for lion's breath if you need to get rid of some stuff. And this next inhale will see us come all the way back up. Relax your hands down and let your feet once more become parallel. Excellent work. Roll your shoulders out a little bit. And let's feel some stretching to our fascia. We're working very hard on releasing tension today, so let's do the fascia layer in the arms and hands. I'd like you to take your right hand, raise it, and then turn your palm to face away and press through the heel of your hand. So this might feel pretty weird along your arm. If it's too much, if the tingling is really uncomfortable, bend your elbow a little bit. If you would like to experience that fascia stretch maybe elsewhere in the arm, you can begin to track your right arm toward the back. That'll change where you feel it. It might make it feel even more intense. And then we'll come back to center. Let's release that right hand down, wiggle it out a little bit because fascia stretches feel very strange, and we're going to do the same thing on the left. Lift your hand. Turn your palm to face away and press through the heel of your hand. Again, if this is too much, you can always bend your elbow a little bit, and you can stay pressing that hand out to the side, or you can begin to track your left arm behind you a little bit. And let's come back to center. Release that hand down. Roll your shoulders. Nicely done. So from here, we're going to turn that right foot to face the top of the mat and bend your right knee. We're going to leave the left foot dialed out to the side. Radiate your arms out to either side. Find your warrior two. Now let's take a moment to set up a nice strong warrior two. So I want you to have a good bend in that right knee. Feel your core strong here. On your next exhale, coil energy into your belly. So hands coming toward the navel. Feel your core tighten up. Inhale, open out, expanding. The heart center radiates. Exhaling, coiling in. Inhaling to open. Exhale. Open all the way out. This time we're going to flip that right hand to face the sky. Inhale, sweep up and back. Exhale, right hand or right elbow comes down to the right knee. Reach your left arm long. Inhaling up and back, reverse warrior. And exhale, extend through side angle, just loving that side waist opening. Remembering to really drink your breath right here, still breathing smoothly, deep, beautiful breaths. And then find your way all the way back up to your Vira 2. Relax your arms down. Straighten your right knee and let that right foot become parallel again. Let's feel that on the other side, turning your left foot to face the short side of the mat. Bend your left knee. Turn your heart to the broad side of the mat. Radiate your arms out. On your exhale, coil energy into your core. Inhaling, opening, stretching the heart. Exhaling, coiling it in. On this next inhale, we're going to open back out to warrior two. Flip your left hand to face the sky. Inhale, sweep up and back. Exhale, left hand or left elbow to left knee. Right arm reaches long. Inhaling up and back. And then exhaling through side angle. Find your expression of dancing warrior here. And then find your way back to your warrior two. Relax your arms down. Straighten that left knee and turn your foot so you are once more parallel. And from here, let's make our way all the way back down to the mat. Come on down to take a seat. So once you've found your seat, draw your left heel in, extend your right leg nice and long, and just settle onto your mat. Turn your heart to face your right foot. On your inhale, create plenty of length, and then exhale, fold forward. Now, let your fingertips touch down, wherever that happens to be. So that might be your thigh, it might be your shin. For just a couple people, it might be that foot. Now, what we want to feel is space in our backs. It's less about grabbing the foot and more about lengthening the spine here. So on your inhale, create length, get long, rolling out. Exhale, hinging from the hips. We draw our heart toward our toes rather than trying to grab our toes. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Now on this next exhale, I invite you to simply surrender. Let your spine curve, let your head bow. You can even let your hands come down to the mat if that helps you soften. Gently walk your hands back. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together at the center for butterfly pose. Again, setting ourselves up with a nice long spine. So we sit tall on the sits bones. Wherever you can reach your ankles or shins is fine. Staying lifted on your exhale, hinge from the hips. So that spine stays nice and long until you find where you stop moving with a straight spine. And then once you've found that space, then we surrender. Bow over your feet. You can draw your elbows to your inner thighs or to your shins if that would feel good to help roll open your hips a little more. And then roll your way all the way back up to seated. Take that right heel in, extend the left leg long. We're going to turn our hearts toward that left foot. Again, getting nice and comfortable here. On your inhale, create space, get tall. Exhale, fold forward, let your fingertips touch down. So again, maybe the thigh, maybe the shin, maybe the foot. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, reaching your heart toward your toes, staying long through the lower back. Inhale, feel that again, lengthening. And then softening. Maybe this time we fully surrender. You can let your fingertips come down to the earth, bow your head, and just soften, just let it go. Gently roll your way all the way up to seated and come to an easy seat, whatever's comfortable in your body. We'll do a little bit of pranayama before we roll down and close our practice. So one of my favorite ways to settle my body is with alternate nostril breathing. So what I'd like you to do is take your dominant hand and bring your peace fingers right between your brows and just rest them right there. Position your thumb over one nostril and your ring finger over the other. Now what we're going to do is seal off that right nostril and inhale on the left. Switch at the top, sealing off the left, opening the right, and exhale. Inhale on the right. Seal it off, open the left side, exhale. Inhale on the left. Switch it out, open the right, exhale. Inhale on the right. Switch and exhale left. So let's practice this for a little while. And just remember to switch at the top. If you get confused, just start over, no big deal. And release. Simply come back to normal breath wherever you happened to be. And just notice what's different, what's shifted in your body. And then from here we're going to roll our way all the way down onto our backs. Draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Massage your lower back on the earth. There are a couple things that can feel nice here. This rocking motion can feel good. Another option is to draw big circles with both knees. That can feel really nice along the backs of the hips. So just notice what kind of self-massage here feels better. Maybe it's a little bit of both, whatever works for you. And we're going to come to center, to stillness. From here, open your arms out to either side. Make a nice big T on the mat. And drop your knees off to your right-hand side. Turn your head to look to the left. I just want to breathe right here. Try to let your body completely relax down into the mat, into the floor. No tension. Relax your feet and your legs. Relax your shoulders. You can gently turn your head from side to side if you would like. Just loosen any neck tension that might be present. On your inhale, come back to center. And let's feel that on the other side. Drop your knees off to the left and turn your head to look to the right. Again, take a moment to completely melt here. Soften your feet, your legs, your shoulders. Relax your jaw and maybe find a little bit of movement, turning your head from side to side. Or just gazing over that right arm, whatever feels better. On your next inhale, come back to center. Now I invite you to move through any additional poses, any asana, anything at all you would like to feel before we close our practice for today. So maybe that's an inversion or another twist or fold, whatever would feel really great. That's what you put right here. And then as you are ready, begin to make your way toward your Shavasana. Remembering, of course, that you have choices, right? So classical Shavasana is done with the heels wide, toes falling out to either side, palms are open facing the sky, shoulders relaxed. Now, in many bodies, this is a little uncomfortable. We can feel our lower backs pulling off the mat, and if that's the case for you, you can bend your knees. bringing your feet the distance of the mat, and then just let your knees fall together at the center. Your bones can support you here as you rest, making this a little more comfortable for the lower back. One other option, of course, is to take goddess pose, which means you bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees out to either side. You are, of course, also welcome to take seated meditation. Whatever would feel better in your body right now. Once you have found your space to rest, simply begin to soften all the places where your body is in touch with the earth. And just feel those little points of contact grow less distinct. Let them melt. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. Visualize yourself floating in a pool of light. This beautiful, benevolent life force. And in this space of rest, simply let go and float. Allow your breath to create space within your body. Begin to find some little movements of your fingertips and your toes. Just bringing you back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away and reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in, full body stretch. Then exhale to draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way all the way over to your right side. And just curl into the posture of the sleeping child. No tension at all. Let your body soften into the earth. And in this space that you have created, breathe in from your practice whatever you most need today. Breathe in that calmness. Breathe in peace. Breathe in some of the beautiful sunlight today. And then whenever you are ready and you feel your practice is complete, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. As always, we will close our practice today with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you, my dears. Let me come up and shut off this recording.